Hey everyone, Dr. Games here. Just got back from the Summit of Greatness yesterday afternoon, Saturday evening, and I am still picking up my gray matter off the walls and the ground and everything that's around me. Completely blew my mind in terms of personal growth, personal development, how you can live the greatest life that you can, and really leaving your fears behind. And so I really wanted to give back. So I had the opportunity to experience this. I understand that it could be cost prohibitive for some of you. And so what I wanted to do is bring back, and for the next week, I'll do a short, less than 10-minute video every day. And I'll share it with you. Please feel free to share it with anyone you want. Your colleagues, your students, anyone, other athletic trainers, share it on social media. I'll make it public. Anyone that you think could benefit from that message who may or may not have been able to attend the Summit of Greatness. So I want to give you a brief overview of my experiences, and then if we have time, we'll start with the kind of first lesson I want to share with you all. And if not, I'll make another video, and we'll do two today. But they will both be less than 10 minutes long. So really an overview, there's 1,000 people that registered because of Hurricane Irma. Only about 950 or so showed up. So really intimate conference, not even a conference, a really intimate event. And there were speakers: Maria Sharapova, Tim Story, Chris Lee, Mel Robbins, Esther Perel. I know I'm forgetting at least 2 or 3 other speakers from around the world, internationally known speakers, really from personal development to life coaching to high performance coaching to business development to Grand Slam champion. Really fantastic event. And then you had Lewis Howes host the event, which was great as well. But I think the most amazing thing of the conference or the event for me was the fact were all the people who were there, right? We had former actors who played on there was an actor who used to play on the Gilmore Girls, and was really successful for a long time, and now he's starting his own business, doing something else, and he wanted to be there. We had a lot of young professionals who are making their life what they want it to be. Influencers on Instagram, influencers on Facebook, motivational speakers. You had inventors. You had other people who left their 9-to-5 job and started their own business, using their skill set to help the most amount of people possible. And those individuals are the people I'll remember even after the lessons of all the speakers fade, because those relationships were fantastic, and it was so great to be in a space where you had everyone there for the same reason. Well, they were all there. Everyone was there for different reasons, but everyone had this vibe and had this energy about them, and no one was a stranger. I had went by myself, literally knew no one. Within 5 seconds of walking into the first welcoming event, I had met an inventor from Southern California living in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and a counselor and coach who lives in LA but travels all over the place, and used to work for the Red Cross for 10 years and now is doing amazing things in her own career. And really, like I said, just amazing. I cannot speak highly of it. And if you ever get the chance, I would encourage you to do it, particularly if you're from the Midwest, because at least for next year, it's definitely going to be hosted in Columbus, Ohio again. So it's relatively inexpensive to go to, relatively inexpensive to be around. And I wish I had a better way to describe what the event was like. Essentially, there were 2 sessions every day. There was a morning session and then an afternoon session with a 2-hour lunch break in between. Really great to network, get to meet the speakers, get to buy the speakers' books, really get to engage with them in a unique way. Take pictures, talk to them, share your story. It was fantastic. And then in the evening, we always had a social. And the social events, again, used for networking, chance to develop deeper relationships with not only the speakers but also the attendees. Really changed my perspective, really shifted how we look at what we do every day and what you all do every day, right? And Lewis Howes opened, and I got like all these notes. So I got like a whole notebook full of notes, and I gotta distill these down to 7-10 minute videos. So we're not going to get to all of them, but at least not now. Hopefully we'll get to talk about this later. But one thing that I think describes you all perfectly as healthcare providers, as individuals who have degrees, multiple degrees, sometimes are achieving at a very high level in your given profession. One thing he talked about was being a conscious achiever. So an achiever, because you're a healthcare provider, you have multiple degrees, you have and you are achieving in your life. And the conscious side of that is you're mindful that you have to be happy, and you're mindful of pursuing something more. You're not just a robot, and you really try hard not to just be a robot, despite the monotony of our job sometimes. And so I think that describes you all perfectly, and I think that describes the people I want to work with perfectly as conscious achievers. Those individuals who have achieved, are achieving, and also are conscious that they have room to grow, and they have opportunities to do things that they never thought possible. And they can do that in a mindful, centered way that can also help the rest of the world and allow those individuals to give back, and you all to give back, to make the greatest impact you can, much further than the patients we serve every day. We already serve a lot of people. We serve patients, we serve students, but there is an opportunity for us to use our skill set and for you to use your skill set to make a larger impact than you have ever imagined. So I think that was a really interesting takeaway from the first kind of talk, and really the idea, and I think this relates specifically to those individuals that are in the Indiana State Doctor of Athletic Training program, is Lewis's first point was to be out of your league. So be out of your league in everything that you do. If you stay where you're at, and you get around people who make you comfortable, who get around people who are not out of your league, then you're gonna stay in the minor leagues your whole life. Seek out those individuals who are aspirational to you. Seek out those individuals who you want to be. And it doesn't have to be in healthcare. It can be in life. If you have a specific influencer or a specific person you like to follow, a specific mentor that may be outside the realm of what you do every day in your clinical practice or every day in your life, seek those individuals out and hang out with them. Figure out what they do. Figure out how they think, what goes through their mind, what are they feeling, and what are they thinking in certain situations. You want to surround yourself by those people, right? If you're sitting there and you're like, this doesn't scare the shit out of me, you're probably not doing it right. It's okay to have a little bit of fear, and you have to listen through that fear. You can't freeze in the fear, but to be a little scared, to kind of ask yourself, like, shit, how did I get myself here, in a good way, will really set yourself up to be successful, even more successful than you have been, because I'm guessing that most of us have been, at least in our current circles, most of us may have been the highest achiever. So how can you expand your circle and get a group of higher achievers and get a group of highest achievers? I think the students in the DAT program right now are experiencing that. They're a group of 25 individuals who are all came from high achieving, all high achievers on their own, probably the highest achiever in their social group, social network, and now we've put them all together. And I hope that you've seen, and if you haven't, you will see how that has brought you all up. It makes you feel like, oh shit, like what the hell's going on? This is going to be tough, but you can see that you're growing. And so, just to wrap up for this first video, I think look at yourself as a conscious achiever, someone who's achieved and done well, but is also mindful and wants to make a difference in the world. Remember that people bring value to the world. Things don't bring value. People bring value to the world. And then also finally remember that In order to be successful, and in order to grow, and in order to be your best self, your greatest self, and the highest achieving individual you can be and you want to be, you really have to set yourself up to be out of your league in the experiences that you take on, the things you say yes to, in the people you hang out with, and keep those people around you, and keep those people who support your dream around you, and really push yourself every single day, every single moment to be out of your league, to be scared, to work through that fear and achieve things you've never achieved. So with that, I'm going to wrap up for today, and please check in tomorrow. Like I said, feel free to share this with anyone. It doesn't have to be an athletic trainer. It doesn't have to be a healthcare provider. It doesn't have to be a student. Share it for anyone who you think will like these messages, and you can direct them back to my YouTube channel, where you can direct them back to my Twitter or my Instagram page, and I'll be sharing these on social media as well as through email with those individuals who are in the Doctor of Athletic Training program at Indiana State. So thank you, and we'll see you again tomorrow.